Class 2, 2,000 metres for race number 3. A few Derby clues in here, possibly as well over the Derby trip of the 2,000 metres. Tigre de Terre, well, him, Charity Go, Heavenly Thought and Packing Warrior, all out of the Classic Mile, 9th, 10th, 12th and 11th respectively. And Richmond was a beaten favourite behind Good Standing last weekend. Giant Turtle behind another Derby hopeful, Dark Dream last time out. Dances with Dragon and Douglas White on a hat-trick back into Class 2 company. And Grand Chancellor and Matthew Chadwick will jump from barrier 8. 9 of them go around here. Savvy 6 and Enrichment have been up at Chung. Both of them came back on the 31st. And Enrichment has run since, of course.
You mentioned the word hopefuls for the Derby, Andrew, and that's probably a spot-on statement because there's sort of a last-ditch effort, really, for a few here. They've got the Classic Cup coming up next weekend, but a few of them have got a chance to build on their current rating. Charity Go might go back to his old form from England and find the front. His best race so far has been in that fashion. He's got gate 1. Could be a good to slow tempo unless Giant Turtle pushes the issue. I didn't really see anything else potentially taking them on. Maybe Grand Chancellor's one that could swing from the back to the front.
A horse that normally needs a spell on the naughty chair is Savvy 6. He does play up quite a lot, this horse, but he's on his best behaviour here this morning. He works nicely enough. And he goes well, does Savvy 6. Grand Chancellor down the bottom, he's another one that's going nicely enough here this morning. No problems with him. He's slightly older, obviously, as a 5-year-old now, and his work's been good leading into this as well. Just the two to show. All
right, so we've got a couple of races to have a look at as well. We'll start off with the Classic Mile. I say, numerically speaking, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th doesn't read great, does it? But a few of them inconvenienced by the eventual winner, in actual fact, Fiore. Tigre de Terre finishes closest of them.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of this. I mean, we saw the Classic Mile this day, as you said. Furore sort of messed up a few momentums in the process. Look, I'm ended up coming back to the form on the board with Dances with Dragon. I think in this race, Enrichment's probably the one to beat. I haven't completely signed off on Charity Go. I'm not going to use that as a reference too much.
Yeah, it was a funny race with the old concertina effect, wasn't it? When they came out. I mean, obviously it's one of the main form races, and 1,600 up to 2,000. It's interesting, but of those horses, yeah, I thought Charity Go, they're all worth another chance. I think they've all had excuses, is probably what you're trying to say.
Packing Warrior went really good first up, but then he flattened out a bit second up.
The blinkers go on him, so that's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think Heavenly Thought's going well at all for me.
All right, not clear cut there. Savvy 6. This is the first time we'd seen him when running here since April. He put in a huge effort first up. Grand Chancellor a bit further back.
Look, he fizzes up before the start. He plays up. He tries to go back to the stables. He does a lot of things wrong, this horse, but he's obviously got plenty of ability. And I thought it was a really good run from him and Grand Chancellor in this race. Grand Chancellor is another one that was a little bit inconvenienced in it. So I think they're both chances. And Grand Chancellor does come in with a lighter weight.
It's a bit of a dude, isn't he, really? Even the way he looks there with his tail half sort of erect tail, so to speak. And he's just obviously, as Paul said, got other things on his mind other than racing most of the time. But we know he's got an engine, so you've got to throw him in with a pinch of salt. I did.
So. Yeah. He's got the ability, so he's just a bit of a handful. Alberto Sana does a good job on him. Let's go back to another Derby hopefuls, though. Probably a few for John Size as well in Richmond.
In Richmond, John, was it just a case of Good Standing was too good for him on the day last time?
I think so. He looks a little bit one-paced, so I think the mile might prove to be a little bit short for him. Hopefully he'll go better at 2,000 metres. But the horses with the turn of foot, the quicker ones, I think they're going to have the edge on him in the finish.
When you look at your Derby horses, he's nominated for the Derby, Red Warrior, Waikuku. Where is he in Richmond in your pecking order?
Well, I haven't got a pecking order until, a week before the race, then you'll get one. But at the moment, every horse is open to improvement or development. So he might come on a little bit more. He's obviously a little bit one-paced, and the mile you're not sort of seeing him at his best probably. So I'm hopefully at 2,000 metres we'll even learn a bit more. There's some other Derby aspirants in the race, and so you'll be able to get a better guide.
And the main storyline heading into Sunday meeting, of course, is the fact that it's Douglas White's last day of race riding. You've had a lot of success together, the likes of Armada, Fay, Glorious Days. How will you remember Douglas as a rider?
Well, he's been, one of the best riders in Hong Kong for me since I've been here, obviously, and he rode for me for 10 years. So, I'll always, remember him for that. And I think that everything's sort of been said about him as far as his ability as a jockey. He's proven to be a fantastic competitor over a long period of time, and that's difficult to do. The most difficult thing to do in any athletic sport is to stay at a level for a period, So to be champion jockey 13 times is unimaginable, but he actually has done it. So you'd be very surprised if that was repeated.
There's some great tributes flowing in for Douglas White. We can move to his horse now, in actual fact, the one he'll be riding, which is Dances with Dragon, along with Giant Turtle at the trials. Giant Turtle might give Charity Go something to think about in front.
Could do. Dances with Dragon obviously came with a fairly high profile from New Zealand. It didn't all work out for him in his first prep of racing. 9 starts last season for a couple of thirds, but he's had 5 and 2 this term. He's trialled well again going into this. I don't think his winning's over yet. We've spoken about, derbies. He was a Group 1 winner in New Zealand before coming, and I tend to think he'll go pretty close again.
Yeah, it's called Hall of Fame when he did win the Group 1 in New Zealand, and I've got him in there for second. I think he can run well. Yeah, he's on a hat-trick, and he's obviously got the ability, and 2,000 metres doesn't look like a problem.
Well, he's got a Hall of Famer on his back as well.
Yeah.
He is our favourite, Paul.
Yeah, second. I've got in Richmond on top. I just think in Richmond might need a bit of pace in the race. As John said there, he does look a little bit one pace. 2,000 metres looks ideal though, so you'll get it. If you do like him for the Derby, you'll know after Sunday where you stand. I've got him on top to beat Dances with Dragon. Savvy 6, we've talked about him, he's got the ability, and Grand Chancellor with the lightweight, 6, 8, 5, 9.
I agree. I think in Richmond's the one to beat. I'll just go with Dances with Dragon because he's got the winning form on the board, but I get the feeling in Richmond is a horse that's still sort of moving along up the rating mountain. It's all sort of getting a little bit rushed now, obviously, but he could potentially turn the 8 over. I've gone 8 to beat 6 for the record. Savvy 6, a bit of a dude, as we've mentioned, but he can run. And Charity Go, if he leads, it'll be very interesting to see what he's got to offer over 2,000. I think he's an interesting runner. 8, 6, 5, 2. I will throw Integra de Terre in my trio, but double bankering 6 and 8.
I've got the same 4 numbers as you, Brett, but Charity Go on top for me again. Excuses last 2 starts. I'm convinced this horse
Does he lead?
can gallop. I think he will, yeah. It's the way to go from barrier 1, jump and roll. So 2 on top for me in the third.